Hi everyone, this is your UnProject recording. Um, Let me share the screen with you. So when you go to the project module, you'll see the UnProject Word document. You should open that. This is going to talk about the purpose of the project. So I give very detailed description of what it is. So it is a two-part project. Your first part is physical. And that can be anything that you want, right? So you're going to be picking a topic, something related to American government, something from your book, or if you can think of something else, that's fine. You come up with a research question first, and then the answer to your research question is your thesis. You need to have a three-pronged thesis, okay? But whatever your topic is, all right, you are to then come up with some sort of creative element related to it. Okay, it could be, like for example, I had one student one year do a topic, American identity post 9/11, and they created replicas of the Twin Towers, right? These clay replicas of the Twin Towers that were very beautiful. I've had other people make posters, like political posters. You don't even have to be artistic to do this. You can use cutouts of politicians or people or whatever you want to do to represent those people, etc. I've had people related to their topic literally write a rap song, okay, and then record it for me. Just an audio recording of them performing it, rapping the song, and then sending me the lyrics as well. So, I've had people paint something, knit something. Like one year somebody knitted a copy, like a American flag, just different things. Like there's just some sort of element, okay, that's related to what you're doing. You don't have to be artistic in any way. It's the content that matters. All right. Now we get to the other part. It's the one-page write-up. Here, you need to start with your thesis statement, your three-pronged thesis. Okay, so I mentioned you come up with your research question, and then the answer to that is going to be your thesis, right? So it's going to be done in three prongs. So, if you were talking about, for example, American identity post 9/11, you would tell me what are the three main ways that identity in America changed post 9/11. So that's a research question. The answer to that research question is your thesis. What were the three things that changed in relation to American self-identity post 9/11? Okay, those three main points. You can do any topic, right? Um, and you basically are going to be, trying to convince me of some sort of position, right? Through evidence. You're telling me what the evidence demonstrates, not what you think, not what you want to be true, all right, but what the evidence can support. What are the three main things for your topic that the evidence supports? So again, I want analysis. Don't be descriptive. Like if you're talking about a country or something like theocracy in Iran or something, or I mean, not theocracy in Iran, but like, you know, um, something about the United States. I don't care about the population of the United States or any, like, don't give me any of that kind of descriptive stuff. And don't tell me about these things if it's like just a history thing. You need to use terms from the course, so if we're talking about things related to, um, um, the presidency and all of that kind of stuff, you need to be using terms that are related to that. Again, style, I don't really need a full introduction. I don't need a full conclusion. This is what I want. And I literally want you to copy and paste this into a new document. Okay, so from where this little squiggly line is, okay, all the way down to here, copy and paste that into a new document and just fill it in. Like it's literally that simple. All right, so copy where it says insert thesis here, literally just drop your thesis in there. All of these highlighted points, these body points, the first paragraph thing, all of that will be erased at the end. All right, because I don't want any headers for this. The only header should be the thesis. That's it. And what you'll do is your first body, right, your first paragraph, that very first sentence, you're going to have a topic sentence that relates to the very first part of your thesis. And then that paragraph is going to be evidence to support your first statement related to that thesis. And you need to cite it in text cite. You should have one peer-reviewed source per paragraph, and then at least one or two other reliable sources, which we'll talk about in a minute, per paragraph. And you need to in text cite it for each one. I will know that you've gone to your second point because the very first sentence of that next paragraph is going to relate to the second point of your thesis. It should all be in order. That second paragraph is going to be cited with some peer-reviewed research related to that specific point, related to scholarly works that we'll look at in just a minute with the media bias chart. And you're going to cite it. You should have 3 to 4 cites per paragraph. There's no such thing as citing too much. There is such a thing as citing too little, and that's called plagiarism. Okay, so don't do it. All right, your third point. All right, your third paragraph, I'm going to know you got to your, your next point of your thesis because it'll be your third point of your thesis. The very first sentence will address that third point of your thesis directly, the point that you're making in that part of your thesis. You will then write a paragraph that supports that with 3 to 4 cites each, at least one peer-reviewed source in there. All right, and that's it. This is, again, just some stuff you need to know. You need 3 peer-reviewed sources. All right, so 3 scholarly sources. And you need 3 other sources that are reliable. So from like the media bias chart, all right, which I'll go over in just a second. You'll need a bibliography. You can go through here and check out this thing here. This is on a citation machine. It will create your in-text citations for you as well as your bibliography page. So let's quickly take a look at this. So I'm going to create some citations. All right, so I'm going to do a journal because peer-reviewed articles are journal articles. All right, do not use things that are like book reviews or anything like that. Those are not acceptable. That's somebody else's assessment of somebody else's work. All right, so that's not going to work for you. You need peer-reviewed journal articles from actual academic journals. Okay, so I'm going to create this thing here. Is it going to give me? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to look up something. My computer's a little slow. I apologize because I'm having some issues. Okay, this isn't what I was looking for, but it doesn't really matter. Like, well, no, let me show you what happens. So if you don't see the one that you're looking for, all right, just 1 second. Let me put another thing. Let's say you searched the library there. Hold on. Let's say that this was what you were looking for. All right. What you can do, it would actually be something that you would need to fill in. Right, so let's copy this. Oh, where is it? APA format. Oh, let me just grab the DOI of our article. Done. Where is that DOI? There it is. Right. Right. There. There's that. I don't know where I did that. So I copied the DOI. Oh, well, here it is. So I put, when you put the exact title in, usually it'll be able to find it and pull up the thing. So this is what you do. You're going to click Cite. Okay. You look at it, make sure that the name of the journal is right, the publication year is right, the publication month, publication day, then all that. Okay. Then you hit continue. This is all correct. If it was wrong, then you would be able to fix it. It's going slow. I'm sorry about this. Continue. Come on. All right. Then it's telling you to finalize your journal details. Okay. These are the authors. Yes, that's me. All right. Yes, all this information is correct. All right. And then click create citation. If any of it was wrong, you would be able to, at this point, to fix it. Okay. Doesn't matter, like you can change it here if you want to MLA, whatever, it gives you those options. As you can see, doesn't matter which one you pick, just be consistent. Hold on. See, and here it starts a bibliography running for you too. All right, you're going to add multiple of them over here. When you click on these three dots, it will do copy in text citation. Right, you select, this is all you need for the in-text citation, right? Just click copy and it'll copy this for you and you can just drop it directly into your document. All right, once you're done with, filling in all of your sources, you can then click export all. It says, where would you like to export your stuff? Okay. It usually will do Microsoft Word. All right. And then you export it. And then it's going to literally download for you your bibliography. So all you have to do is just copy and paste that right on the end. Hold on. Let me look at this in a different way as a list instead. See, and this is it. Watch when I open this, what happens. It's going to take a second because everything's so slow. Or I wonder if I can see, look, oh, there it was. Excellent, close it. There's, and see, there's your references for you. It does it automatically for you. All you have to do is, copy and paste that on the bottom, like, just do a page break after your one-page write-up, plop that in there, and it's done. It's foolproof. It creates your citations for you. It is really fabulous. All right. So going back here, right? So let's see. Again, remember, no such thing as oversighting. You need 3 to 4 in-text citations per paragraph. Please run it through Grammarly. Look, I'm a PhD. I've written academic journals. I've written for Foreign Policy, the Washington Post, etc. I am not stupid, but we all make mistakes. We are all human beings. Okay, I use Grammarly. But again, keep in mind though that Grammarly isn't totally foolproof. Sometimes it will give you suggestions for words that maybe aren't the best. That, you know, the word that you've chosen is actually better. So make sure that you go line through line, you know, each suggestion and manually accept those, right? Sometimes you accidentally write THEIR when you meant THEY apostrophe RE. You know, your brain just does funny things to you sometimes. It happens, all right? But we can deal with that when we have this extra set of eyes, Grammarly, that will help us, okay? So once you're done, all right, with both the physical portion and the written portion, this is a checklist for you. You need to go through and check each one of these things off. Some of these in the physical portion may not necessarily be relatable to what you're doing. So you can just sort of ignore these, you know, at will. But the one when it's related to the actual write-up, okay, this one you need to really triple, double down on and make sure that you are absolutely got everything. If you can honestly say to yourself that you've checked all of this stuff off, I promise you, you'll get an A. All right. It really isn't that hard. So let's go back to the modules though. You'll note here that there is stuff here about how to construct your thesis. All right. Let's scroll down. Oops, let's scroll down. So I give you lots of instructions about what a thesis is and blah, 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 and all that. There's some couple of examples, but this one right here is an example of a 3-pronged thesis. I want you to model yours after this one. All right. Mine here is the example is identification with extreme right ideologies is typically associated with low levels of societal trust in outside others or xenophobia, high levels of identification with authoritarianism, and increasing income inequality. One thing I want you to note is that in each one of these points, I have some political sciencey related term, okay? Things that we have talked about in this course at some point or another. So societal trust, you know, authoritarianism, and income inequality. All right. But the other thing I want you to know is that I offer directions. I give you some sort of specification. There are low levels about societal trust, right? What kind of societal trust? Low levels. All right. What's going on with this xenophobia, you know, outside others, whatever, blah, it's all low trust stuff. All right. Authoritarianism, how is it? So if I just said, you know, that people tend to, you know, identify with authoritarianism, okay, that's great, but is it there's just a few people, a little bit, you know, what's going on there? So high levels of identification with authoritarianism, okay? So people tend to really identify with authoritarians that, you know, are attracted to far-right ideologies. All right, they rank high on the authoritarian identification sort of Richter scale, okay? Then the thing about income inequality, what kind of income inequality is happening in the United States or wherever, right? Is it a little bit of income inequality? Is it a lot of income inequality? Is there no income inequality? What is it? You need to tell the reader what they can expect, right? So this is really your thesis. Another way to think of your thesis is that it's signposting. It's a roadmap for what the reader is about to read, right? It gives them an idea of what it is that they're going to expect. And you never want them to be guessing. You were to say something like, you know, that identification with extreme right ideologies is typically associated with social trust, authoritarianism, and income inequality. Okay, that's helpful, but it doesn't really tell the reader, well, what about the social trust? What about, you know, authoritarianism? what is going on there. You know, it's high levels of identification, right? Um, and increasing, and as, in other words, as income inequality increases, you're going to have, you know, more likely to see things like people identifying with extreme right ideologies. Okay, so you're being very specific about each one of these points. Then I give you some very bad examples of thesis statements, etc. Okay, so going back to, I'm sorry, this, the other thing that you see is instructions on how to look for peer-reviewed resources. So when we're using the HCC library, okay, let's do that. Let me see if I can find it here. So where is it? It's analytics, button, HCC libraries. There it is. Okay. So you'll note that here, what I tell you is first you got to pull up the library, then go to databases at the top, A to Z. Okay. So we're going to open that in a new tab. If you're already logged in, it should just automatically log you into the library. Okay, or maybe it won't. Guess it didn't in my case. So you log in, go to library, and all right, so databases A to Z. We're going to open up this and then go to J. This is just the easiest way to do this. Okay, I'm going to look at JSTOR. Okay, we're going to do an advanced search. Oops, let's do an advanced search. Do not. All right, so we're going to do an advanced search here. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's see. We're going to look for articles, no reviews, no books, no research reports, no miscellaneous. Okay, except those cookies. You want to try to find the most recent things. So why don't, you know, for something like that, why don't we say 2018, the latest to 2022. Okay. We're not gonna do those. We're just gonna click on here and see what we get. Sorry, my computer is seriously having problems right now. All right, come on. So once this does its little thing, it's going to pop up a whole bunch of articles. All right. I'm sure this is just happening because my computer is having some issues. I have an appointment on Friday to take it in. So what you'll see here, once this is loads, it may take too long. And so I just want to move on. There'll be a bunch of articles here. Because you selected journals down at the bottom over there on the previous page, all right, it will only return peer-reviewed journal articles. All right, and so then you just find the ones that are closest to your topic, All right. And then you read those and, you know, use that as the first thing that you do to help formulate your argument. Okay. Um, and then what you need to do, all right, is, hold on. Nothing is working properly. Okay. So once you've selected some peer-reviewed articles that you're going to use as your sources, all right, you can also go to the media bias chart. And you have to use this for your other sources that are not peer-reviewed. Okay. Let's see, then go to this thing, open that up. So this is going to give you your other sources. This is a company that constantly is inputting information related to various media sources to check for their reliability, their credibility, all of that. Okay. And when you're going to notice two sides of this, right? So up here, what it says is most extreme left, hyperpartisan left, skews left, middle balance bias, skews right, hyperpartisan right, most extreme right. What you're also going to note is on the left-hand side that, you know, you read this kind of like right about here, you've got fact reporting, original fact reporting for the stuff that falls in here, complex analysis or mixed fact reporting and analysis or high variation of reliability. That's in these orange, yellowy sort of boxes, okay? And then the next thing you're going to have is opinion or high variation of reliability, selective, incomplete story. That's, you know, along here, this sort of axis, all right? Down here, and then whether you're extreme left or extreme right. Okay, so I guess it's the yellow that's this one over here. All right, and then this orange here is these two. And then these last two on the bottom contains misleading info, contains inaccurate and fabricated information, like stuff that's just wholly ridiculous. All right, so this is all the orange, darker orange down here. All right. And then there's some other little things, these little green dots that you can click on and all that kind of stuff. All right. For your purposes, I only want you to use sources that are in this green box. It's okay if it skews a little left. It's okay if it skews a little right. All right. But if you have something that skews right, you need to balance it with something that skews left. You're really best off to stick with things that are here in the middle for your other sources. All right. Yes, you can use something on the left. Yes, you can use something on the right. Okay. But this is honestly, I don't even watch TV news. I read my news and it's from here. I get all my news and information from here or peer-reviewed sources. Nothing else, because you can't really rely on this other stuff, okay, to be credible, fully credible. So when you're consuming media and all that, thinking back to the chapter on media, this is where you should be getting your news and information. All right. So now going back to the course module, okay. Once you've written everything, you've got your sources from the peer review, you've got your sources from the media bias chart. You use those to cite. Again, you pop those citations in the citation machine link that's there that you'll find in this UnProject thing, right? Where it says use this, click on this here, right? Everything you need to be successful is here. You don't need anything else. Now, listen, there's one other thing you can do. All right. In your tuition, you're already paying for the writing center. If for some reason you're having difficulty, you can make an appointment online to speak with somebody that can look over your written stuff to determine whether or not it's okay, and they should be able to help you. All right. If you have any specific questions, of course, you can email me as well related to your topic. But for writing type stuff, you know, you can make an appointment online with the Writing Center. They will meet you online, and whenever you meet with them, they send me an email telling me this student met with me on such and such a day, and we went over this specific thing. Okay, so I will know exactly what it is that you talked with them about and everything. And once it's done, you just turn it in. All right, it will be due the last physical day of school, right? So the week before the exam, that last day. So that's Sunday night before the exam. All right. That's it. All right. And so if you have any other questions, again, please let me know. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.